Hello, my internet friends. I'm Ryan, and this is Demos in the Dark. Got a new one from Spaceman tonight. It is the Artemis Modulated filter. So the Artemis Modulated filter, it is a multi-mode envelope filter, and it is deep. It is, it is just so deep. On top of having multiple modes, you have a choice between a high pass filter, a band pass filter, and a low pass filter. And if that's not enough, you can blend them all together. Like, you can just do so much stuff with this pedal. So I'm going to throw it here on a mix. I'm going to put it on multiple guitar tracks. I'm going to put it on bass, and I'm going to put it on synth. All right, let's take a deeper dive into the Artemis Modulated filter with Spaceman. And you know, I've been thinking about this for a couple of days and trying to figure out how I want to go over this. And I still haven't figured it out yet. So hopefully by the end of this, I will have figured out how I want to go through it. But we'll just kind of go through it together. We'll turn some knobs. I'll give you the basic idea of how this thing works and how it sounds. And hopefully we will have hit a fair amount of it, and you'll have a better understanding of this pedal by the time you finish. I am running a Seuf Guitars OH20 into a Benson Amps Monarch reverb. That sounds like this. Okay, so I think the thing that we should start with is the kind of the mixer section, which is here. You have a high pass filter, you have a band pass filter, and you have a low pass filter. So with all those turned down, There's nothing. And so you got to kind of bring those in little by little. So we'll start with the low. So that's the low. You can bring in, I find it's best to leave some low in there. But we can bring in some of that bandpass filter. So that's like your classic kind of like wah. So, and then also the high, we can bring up some of that high. It's got kind of that Zappa kind of thing where he would, do that business, and with that really high filter on there. Except he'd probably hit most of those notes. So yeah, the trick and the magic of it is from there, you just kind of find the sound and the mix that you dig. And as I said at the beginning, I really like a lot of low. Mids are important. Cool. So we got a sound that we dig. And so the next thing we're going to adjust is the sensitivity. And, it's a sensitivity. This thing is set up to, it's usable with multiple different instruments. You're going to need a different sensitivity for bass than you are for synth than you are for guitar. You're going to need a different sensitivity for humbuckers versus single coils. And also there's just going to be the way you like the attack of how this pedal works. So you can go with real high sensitivity. You can go with a real low sensitivity. Can barely even get it to go. And I think of like Jerry Garcia, who was like the master of the Mutron 3, and he would do that thing where like he would keep the sensitivity pretty low, and he would just use the different parts of the sweep and then pull out different notes he wanted to squawk. So you can mess around with all that kind of stuff, kind of find the thing that you dig. And next we have the frequency control. This is the corner frequency of the filter. And it's kind of tough to describe how it works or what it's doing exactly. But what I noticed is when you have it higher, it's not as much squawk happening. And then when you got it pretty much all the way off, or as low as it goes. So I guess, like you wanted to kind of like blend in. Yeah, definitely, you know, kind of some mild. That'd be one easy way to do that. Then we have the resonance, the RES, and that is the format peak before the filter. So you can kind of think of it as like you know, on a Mutron you have the Q control. And so I always kind of think of it as like further off you have like less quack, and further up you have more quack, and actually it produces a really cool distortion that I like from kind of slamming it in front of the filter. So you can roll it off. So also important, if you like that snap, you'll want to dial in plenty of that. If you don't want any, you pull it back. And then the amount. So the amount is different depending on which mode you're in. So in this one, it's going to be a depth control. So we can turn that up. So we haven't even got to the modes yet. This is just this stuff. This is just finding the thing that you want to put into a mode. Like we've just been working on the envelope up, which is, you know, the Jerry Garcia, Edie Burkell, and the New Bohemians kind of sweep. So, but they actually have some modes in here that have some movement. And in those modes, the amount control, which was the depth for the envelope up and envelope down modes, becomes a speed control. So this is a ramp up mode here. So yeah, that's just a really kind of brief overview of what this pedal does. It has several modes. It has lots of different ways to dial it in. You should pick one up. I mean, and when you do, you're going to be at it for a really long time because there's just so much stuff you can do on this pedal. It is just absolutely amazing. They did a really great job with it. So thank you for your time.